Are we back on?
Bam.
Mr. Producer, are we back on? Yes, you guys are back. Okay, sorry about that, people. Give us 1 sec while we get our guests back. As we know, things in life aren't perfect. This is one of those days.
This is one of those days. We're just waiting.
You waiting? We're back.
We're back. Okay, cool.
So,
all right. So
until we get them back,
where did we leave off, good people? Well, do we have anybody that's watching us? Are we live? Do I need to reshare?
We're waiting on our guests for a sec. They are trying.
We only have one person watching us.
It happens.
That person might be me.
Right now, it's saying they're backstage.
Right, that's why I said they had to back out and back in. I had to change the link. So they're backstage at the old spot. It's like,
what's the link now?
It's the same link, but I had to change the link.
So they should log out and log back in.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for the 5 people who came back. We appreciate you.
We love you.
We're waiting on our guests to log back in.
But while we're doing that, okay.
Well, we were talking about setting the stage
right.
for what we've been hearing on our, and I'll do a quick recap. We're talking about dating over 40, and what we've been hearing. And on these shows, just meeting people is an issue.
Yep.
Sex becomes an issue.
Hey, Travis.
Folks wanting or don't want kids. Folks are a lot more concerned around 40 about how much money somebody else has, whereas when you're 20-something, you're not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you should be, but you're not.
So, if you guys who are watching have any questions, we're about to bring in our guests. We will try to get to them. Super producer Brian, let me know if you see anything that pops up that's worth seeing. Highlight it for a brother.
Holla.
Okay,
right.
Can we bring our waiting guests back in?
Here we are. We're back.
Kenya and Maisha, my apologies. Welcome back. Can you all hear me?
Hi.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, it's still a little faint though.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
We see
you
just
do anything
fine.
About that? Well, she's talking
I mean, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, quick intro. You guys want to tell folks who we're talking to right now? I did let them know that you all were very smart and professional folk.
Let's let them introduce themselves.
Okay.
How about that?
Well, I'm Kenya, and I am 44. Just recently turned 44. I don't know. I'm from the south side of Chicago, South Shore. I am a general dentist and a practice owner downtown Chicago at Millennial Park, 30 North Michigan, Suite 1625, just in case.
That's how you do it. That's how you
She's
do
giving
it.
us all the specifics. Okay.
And yeah, I come from a family of 4. It's me, my sister, my mom, my father, and I have a dog. His name is Jackson. And I've known Kris for a few years, right, Kris? More than 3?
You have.
Oh, cool.
And she'll tell you, I've asked her to be on the show more than a few times. So I'm happy to have her here.
Thank you for having me.
You are, okay, so the most important, so you're single, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're single, and that's why we're talking today, because we've got some beautiful single ladies here who are going to share there. And so Maisha, tell us about yourself so we can jump on into the conversation.
Yeah, so Maisha Pearson, I'm 43, about to be 44 May 4th. And I'm a partner at an executive search firm.
Oh, me too.
Gosh, I don't know. I grew up with a mother, father, sister 2 years older than me. I've known Kenya for over 20 some odd years. And I'm single.
Okay.
And dating. Single and dating.
It's a different.
All right.
It's different. It is a difference. Single and dating.
We've gotten the pleasantries out of the way.
Yes.
Right?
All right.
Now, Maisha, I've been knowing Kenya. I didn't know you, so thank you for joining, taking the leap of faith, jumping on the show. As I tell every guest, it should be a positive experience. I liken this show to therapy. Well, work it out. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. But it's gonna be fun. But I sent in some questions because I don't like people to be surprised. Did she show you any questions?
I briefly looked at the questions, but I want it to be authentic and organic.
I like all of that. So since you do, we'll start with you. I'm going to go out on here on a limb and say, Brian, I can ask you this. We're both not in the dating game. He and I are both married. Along with Gina B, aren't these 3 really nice looking women? Exactly. But I want to know, what's the problem in the dating pool? You ain't got to hold back. I know it's a lot of, I know some trifling dudes, so that's part of the problem.
I know, right?
But
we all do.
Why do you, Maisha's first, why do you think, and first off, I'm assuming you want to be in a marriage or long-term something. What do you think has been some of the issues? I mean, joking aside.
It's just, Kenya and I joke all the time. I feel like it's an epidemic. I feel like it's bad out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just lack of respect, lack of monogamy. I think Michelle Obama talked about just the practice of being monogamy. You have men who I think there's so many options. I think you have women who set the tone of how they want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lack of respect, unfortunately.
And so you think women contribute to it? Like
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
When men treat you based off of what they've been allowed to do.
That is true.
And I think if more women set a tone and a standard of how they want to be treated, then men will act a certain type of way. But unfortunately, you have a lot of women who settle for a lot of BS, myself included, in the past. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying those women. I'm saying that I've done it too.
Okay.
And because of that, you have men that just kind of try to play you for the okie doke.
Feel ya. So now, where do you two normally meet men?
Where do we meet men?
Yeah, where are you normally meeting them? Out, online?
It's so random. I'm off the apps currently right now.
Okay.
Because I can't do it anymore. We're just not compatible. We're looking for different things. There are married men on the apps. Right. There are men in relationships that's on the apps. So I just randomly meet people, whether it's like just crossing paths or just like,
but do you even feel random? Like men don't even come up to you? Like, let's just be honest, they don't even come up to you. Like,
I rarely get when
was the last time a man came up to you?
I know. I rarely get approached.
Rarely.
Like, if you really want to talk about it, I rarely get approached. I can go like maybe a year or two without dating, and then then somebody will just pop up random.
Okay. When you say you can go a year or two without dating, you going a year or two without a date, or a year or two without like a regular cadence of dating a person?
Like a regular pattern of dating, right? So it may, like, I have a lot of, male friends that are like not friends, but like really like good friends, like to hang out with. But it's been a while since I've been in a relationship. It's been a very long time.
You get a lot of men that will go into your DM. They'll send you message. They'll comment on photos. Oh, you're beautiful. You're this and that. But they don't pull the trigger. No one's asking. And I'm not trying to come off negative here. Like, I'm a positive person.
No, I'm joking with you. Go ahead.
I promise you, I'm all about manifesting good energy, all that stuff.
Right. That's true.
All about positive energy. But I'm just being honest right now. You have a lot of men who, they say all these things, but they won't even ask you out on a normal date or just have a normal conversation with you on the phone. It's about text messaging. It's just, no follow up, etc.
Yeah.
I sort of.
I went out with a couple guys who were big texters, and I was like, "Can we not do that?"
I agree.
And these are like grown people.
So I do both. I text and I call, but if it's just strictly text message, then that's a problem.
You can be doing anything
have a
while you're
whole
texting.
Conversation.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, like, I'll tell you what, like, you can do anything while you're texting. right? You could be sitting there with the person that you're married to or dating.
That's
and send
true.
a quick text message, which is enough for the person that's receiving it to feel engaged with, right? So that's why I don't really like to do all that. I mean, I'm not dating anymore, but still.
And you answer this too. This is a question for women here, because I'm going to do some probing. Do you all and do you two have friends who have met somebody? And I mean, you get married.
Yeah.
Do you have friends? Is it bad for everybody or what?
From my perspective, I think it's bad for quite a few people. Like, I have a pretty good handful of single female friends.
Right.
Unfortunately, the single male friends that I have, I understand the reasons why they're single in most cases.
Well,
I hope they're not watching. No.
Yeah, I don't want to sell out any brothers, but
I know some of them. I understand why they're single. I get
one
it.
of you sort of said it too. I think it might have been Maisha at the beginning. I think men are sort of the same. I mean, I jokingly say on this show, Maisha, the men are very simple creatures, and I even say women are usually I always say smarter, but I think they sometimes make more practical decisions. But I think when it comes to dating, men, I admittedly have been shallow, the most shallow person ever, hence why I'm doing this show. I got married a little later. But I think I was more honest when it came to dating. I mean, it got to a point where I would say, what can I do differently? And I think men are sort of forced into that. Because from a very young age, I like the prettiest girl in class. Oh, man, I'm 4 inches too short. Well, I like this girl. Damn, she's dating him. But it doesn't stop us because we're expected to. So I think at some point we probably adapt more. But
well, because you guys are the ones that are normally doing the pursuing, in a sense, from a young age, right?
But I also wonder, too, and thank you for being here. Let me know if I sound chauvinist.
I will.
I'm working on myself, y'all. If we have, especially black women are doing so well in education and upward mobility, and they seemingly, at least the ones I know, work very hard at school and work, and they're very decided on where they want to go, what they want to do, how they're going to get there, and what work they want to put in. Why would something as important as a spouse be looked at so cavalier like I'm here?
What was the question?
Okay, so are you saying
what was the question?
Why aren't you if having a man or husband, not just for you but in general, is that important? Why aren't you attacking that like your career or like you would a house?
I mean, I'm absolutely.
I think Maisha is. I'm not.
Okay, what's the difference? Okay, Maisha, you are. How are you doing it?
I mean, I'm honestly not trying to put my business out.
Do you have like
Gina
suggestions?
B will ask you. Gina B will ask all.
No, but I'm look, I'm
can
going to be
say
transparent.
no.
I'm going to be transparent for the people out there. Like, I've hired a matchmaker.
For the people.
Okay.
I hired a matchmaker. It took me a long time to do that because that's a financial investment.
It is.
I was on and off the apps. And honestly, my career is my career. I'm going to be successful regardless. So for me, when I define happiness and, for me, I want a partner.
Right.
And that really came about strongly. Recently, I was renovating my mom's place. And I was so stressed out. I was doing it by myself. And I'm like, man, I just wish I had a partner. I'm sick of doing things by myself. I'm sick of, and it's not even on like monetary things. I just need like a thought partner, someone that can help me, just all of that. And I mean, that's the priority. So I do kind of look at it as like, I'm focused, but I'm not going to settle.
I got you.
And I'm okay with being by myself. And I'm not going to have anybody come into my life and disrupt my peace.
Understood. And I got 3 daughters, and I would like what you said at last. That's very honest, and I think you should. So my question then becomes, because again, Brian, I'm looking at them, I'm dumbfounded. I mean, I want to hook them up. I have sent Kenya out on some dates, so let's just put it out there.
Look, Kenya's like,
These were some
I see the look on her face.
Hold on, Maisha. It didn't work for her, but I got a few successful, well-paid, good-looking brothers
Kenya,
in
is
my
that
back
true?
pocket.
Kenya, is that true?
I got a
look,
couple.
I see the eyes. Okay.
Now let me ask y'all this. Kenya and Maisha, and so what is? We talk about this on the show, but what? Do you have a list? I usually speak against a list, but of course, when I got married, I had a.
I feel differently than you about the list.
Gina B feels differently. She's a believer in the list, and
I do.
She's getting married this year. I'm not, but what things are you looking for? And where I'm going with it, because I don't hide any agenda. It's me personally. I'll use myself as the example. I think I had a list that was, face of young Holly, body of Serena.
Well, because that was shallow.
Cook like my mama, submissive, makes a gazillion dollars. But that was my list, right?
She believes in the list too.
So I don't feel I settled, but there are things that I wanted, but when I thought of what I needed, then it became more clear what I needed to do. So my question is, what's your ideal guy?
Oh. And then we need to talk about the money, because that's what we're talking about today.
Oh yeah, we're talking, and then how important is money in this as well?
Oh, jeez.
They're all like, "Oh Lord, here we go."
Oh, we go. The list.
I know. To my cousin Ramira, she's also getting married this year, and
she's a believer in the list. See what I'm talking about?
I believe in the.
She is a believer in the list.
That's right.
I believe that you should write down what you want and you manifest what you want.
Right.
Like, I believe everything I've ever gotten has been.
I need you to be organic, or just what are those things?
So this is the deal. Like, you have to have some foundation in God and in a higher being that dictates your life, right? I've never been the one that's been into looks. I just like a vibe. I like a certain type of energy about a person. You have to be gainfully employed. I'm not, and I'm just being very straightforward. I'm not being politically correct. I want a person that makes as much money as me or more. I like a provider. I like a good guy as opposed to a nice guy. I need someone very down to earth. I don't like bougie men.
You like a teaspoon of ghetto in your men.
A little teaspoon.
I just need someone. I just need someone that's a good.
You want a 6-figure hood dude? Does this have to be legally gainfully employed?
I mean, I like someone that's authentically a good, hardworking person. That's a good person, right? That I can be my authentic self. And I think that I'm very conscious about how I may show up, and I may attract a certain type of guy. But I just need someone that's just real and authentic and, all that jazz.
So, and this is just some random thoughts, right? Because we tackle this a lot.
A whole lot.
I tend to look at, and this advice you can use to throw out. I like to look at, like, I was interested in politics, so I started looking at people I thought that I respected. I want to learn about history. I look at what interested in black folks.
We can't hear you, Kris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I try and pattern myself, or try to, after those that I've seen that are respectful. If it was black history, maybe Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, right? People I know that were smart or whatever. And I looked at relationships the same. I've never, ever, and I looked at people who've been married 25, 30 years. I've never heard someone say, how did this last 30 years? What was the key? Looks never come up. Their money never comes up. None of that.
Okay.
But what does? Okay, if you disagree with something, hold your horses. But what I see and hear, and money is important. Make no mistake. I love that, right? But what you need in a successful relationship is loyalty, right?
Yeah,
trust,
of course.
values. We call it values, right? That whole religion thing. You can't, an atheist may not pair well with this. Initially, physical something works, right? But I think we have become a superficial society.
And I want to be clear, like, I'm just giving you some cliff notes, like, obviously loyal, like, it's not a surface thing for me.
But I'm about to give you the gym real quick, and I'll be quick, because I'm beating around the bush because y'all nice, and I'm not being right out there, right? But this is it. You've heard this before.
Uh-huh.
I told you who I liked. Eventually, I don't care if you call it settling. Settling is not a bad word. I settled on the house, I celebrate. I had to choose from a group of women that liked me. Those are my only options. So there's a circle of people I like that I think that I should be with. And then there's a circle that like me. I better pick from that circle or I ain't going to have nobody. So you have to look at, okay, everybody knows what I want. But are you, whatever you want, are you the object of that? So this man, how old is he, your ideal guy? 20, 80?
I mean,
20.
I mean, I typically go older.
All right, how old? Give me an age.
I think I'm 43. I think 47 is a good place to play.
So that's slightly. That's about.
Matter if he has kids.
I've dated early 50s. That's not. I try to stay away from that.
Does it matter if he has kids?
At this stage in the game, right?
You know, we're in our 40s, and a lot of people have already been married more than once. They got kids and all of that. So, I mean, a kid is really not like a deal breaker.
Well, it depends on the relationship that the guy has with his baby mama.
It's the dynamic.
And exactly, because that can be.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's all about, well.
What if he made $50,000? Taking care of himself. He's loyal. He's smart. He's funny. He lays it down.
And he got 3 kids.
Wait, he lays it down. So wait a minute. He don't need you, right? He don't need you. But he checks 15 out of 16 of your boxes.
But those boxes are weighted,
soulmate.
though. Those boxes are weighted.
Because Kris the Critic says, when it comes to long term, I'm going to be with this person. As long as y'all don't come up short, if you happy, you happy. Or, because if you didn't have it, and it was the same dude, y'all money was switched, it's a perfect relationship. I'm just wondering, when you think about settling down, who you with?
Well, there's certain things that you can't do in your life that you want to do.
I just wouldn't rather die.
I like your cousin. Your cousin is like, he would need it for my lifestyle, 100%. So if you like to go on high-end trips.
What if he was a millionaire? Did you have to meet his lifestyle?
I don't know, maybe. Okay. It depends on the guy. I mean, like, you know, but that's not the natural order of things.
But that millionaire.
I think it's about where you place value, right? When you talk about the whole money situation, you know, some people don't care about trips. They don't care about maintaining a certain type of lifestyle or elevating in a certain type of lifestyle, right? For me, I don't ask for anything that I don't bring to the table myself, right? So I can go on I like traveling. I like maintaining a certain type of lifestyle, and I'm very ambitious, and the goal is to always be elevating, right? And so I want to be with someone that's on the same page as me and that likes to travel, that likes to do things, that's very driven and ambition. And with that, there's a financial cost to that, right? I've dated, let me just say this, because I dated men who didn't make as much money as me, and it doesn't work out. We can try to pretend. They're going to get intimidated. It's not going to work out. I'm not the chick that's going to make you feel a certain type of way.
I know plenty of guys who wouldn't mind having a woman.
Well, then there's the ones who want a sugar mama, and that's a whole other problem.
Yeah,
but the problem is, again, everybody knows what they want. But a man who's 40-something, who makes $300,000, I don't care what he looks like. 9 times out of 10, he's dating somebody half his age who looks way better than him. Because money and fine women have always found each other.
Oh, yeah, they're good bedfellows.
I've never been with a group of guys and we say, damn.
Or a lot of them are narcissists.
Look at her job title. Men don't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
CEOs say, damn, look at that ass. That's what men do. So if you know that, I'm just saying you gotta be thinking, as much as you know what you want, you gotta find the people that want you. And I'm telling you, there are.
So, okay. So of the people, I mean, everyone's, well, I don't know everyone, but let's just say for the sake of these beautiful women, I'm sure there are people who want you, who you're just like, no, thank you.
I'm reading the comments. I'm sending Maisha out on at least 2 dates. Don't go ahead.
So I'm actually I'm dating someone.
Okay.
I'm dating someone.
How long have you been dating?
That I met online. That I met
How long
online.
you been dating them? Getting your business now. How long?
About a month.
Okay.
And
this is going well.
I'm keeping it light. We'll see what happens.
Cool. All right.
If you're single.
No, I'm single.
All right. So that means nothing to a man, all right? You want a man with confidence. He don't care about he don't care about competition. He welcomes the competition. No need to even say it. You going out on some dates. What did Travis Powers say? Speaking of very successful single men.
Travis. Hi, Travis.
So correct, my brother. And then the other application.
What are you referring? Are you referring to Chris's comment about how CEOs want that ass?
I'm sending Travis out on a date. I'm doing that.
Are you?
I'm going out.
Okay. Who are you gonna send him out with?
Again, we got to see who he's interested in. I don't know.
Yes, who's interested in him?
That's true.
So what if these circles are never concentric, right? Like, so
they are.
Why are they?
It's
automatically.
Just that we choose not. For instance, Mrs. Critic knows this. I love Beyonce and Rihanna. They right there 1 and 2. Right? They didn't want me. I feel I look better than Jay-Z.
Okay, I need you to stop.
His wallet makes me look hideous. It's not that I'm settling. That's not my circle. That's what I want. I want it.
You think you want it.
I did.
You think you want it based on shallow.
I did.
Okay.
They didn't want me.
But you're always the one that says don't be shallow.
Admittedly, I'm
you
shallow as hell.
You don't know Beyonce.
I'm shallow as hell.
You don't know.
But you got to realize your negatives, too. I don't just know my positives.
Okay, I'm just saying.
It's more of these Hollywood good looks here.
Okay.
But there's a circle of women that like me. And I'm okay with that. But when I tell a woman that, they say, I don't want an ugly guy. As if the only dudes that like them are ugly. Or if the only dudes that like them are broke.
Well, but those are the ones that are the loudest, truth be told.
No, those are the ones
like the broke ugly dudes will be up your ass.
You are what you
baby. Like, no.
You are what you pull.
It's like the super rat theory.
You are what you pull.
I used to have a super rat theory, right? I used to always say that I somehow repelled normal men, but the ones that were the worst, the brokest, the ugliest, the whatever, would be the ones that would be like calling and the ones that would approach you when you're walking down the street, and the ones that you gotta get rid of the super rats, and figure out how to attract the ones that are kind of closer to where you want to be. But you've got to, like, the super rats though are those are the ones that are because they play a numbers game. Tasha knows.
Cousin Ramira Vassal, newsflash, everyone settles. That's how it is. There isn't a married person alive that when they drew their perfect person, they didn't draw who they're with. Sorry. Not fair. Harsh reality.
So do you think that your wife settled?
Absolutely.
Really?
Because I knew her a long time, and every dude, she's 5 foot nothing. I'm 5'10", right? You're like, oh, that's a good match. She only dated 6'4". She said she wanted taller kids.
She likes them climbable.
So yeah, she settled.
Mm-hmm.
I settled on a house too. Cost a lot, still a good thing. Settling ain't bad. Again, I personally, I just look at the alternatives. But let me give out some tips, because it's not gloom like we're making it out to be. I believe if something's not working, do something different, right? For instance, if you're more of a woman with means,
mm-hmm.
I would fish in different places, right? I would reach out to my friends who are successful, who have husbands, because like usually hangs with likes. There's nothing wrong with a referral. I would travel more. I would be at every lawyer convention, doctor convention, Black Caucus, NFL, old coaches. There's plenty of guys who it didn't work out with somebody else.
Or many of them are married.
Who have gotten to the point of valuing something other than what a superficial dude would have. But I don't think we put the same effort into that.
Now, what if you're doing all those things? So Kenya, you said that you don't really actively try.
Kenya's waiting on God to just drop the guy out of the sky.
I don't want to misinterpret. That's what I think. That's what you said a little earlier, right?
Right. I'm just not currently actively trying.
You're off the apps. You're not.
I'm off the apps. I am. I'm exhausted. That's what I.
Okay.
I'm exhausted with the dating process. I was briefly dating someone last year that didn't work out, and I'm just taking a break right now.
Okay, it's okay.
Taking a break from it
enjoy
all.
Yourself.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I'm not built like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I couldn't take a break.
He couldn't.
Men
Well,
don't take breaks.
men don't. Just the men always have somebody. So.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say. So when Kris says do something different and fish in different ponds, then does that mean start fishing for Kenya, or does that mean that
Well, activity breeds
would you
results.
change up your social activities, or how are you feeling about that?
If it ain't working, you got to do something different, because that whatever it is, it's not working.
Or
if it were me,
maybe not black men, maybe it's something else.
That's right.
I mean, listen, I'm all.
And that's fine.
I'm all for that.
Happens, but I will tell you.
I will say,
Most white men marry white people. Most black men marry black people.
I will say that the guy that I'm dating is not black right now.
Okay.
Okay, good for you. And if it works out, I'm a big believer in that.
Well, but I just don't see why everyone. Okay, this is turning into a different show, but there are a lot of people that have different. Like they're all like, "Oh, you're not dating a black man," especially like when a black man sees an attractive black woman, they're like, "Well, you should be dating a black man." It's like, well, why? Who's lining up? Like, why would they be bored?
I think you have to at this stage in the game, and I love black men. I've only dated black men. You have to keep all your options open.
For sure.
And it's about who's going to treat you the best.
Exactly.
And
that is key right there. But
it's about who's going to value you, who's going to treat you the best, who's consistent, who's.
Do you mean that?
All of that.
But what if he doesn't have? What if he makes $50,000? Then all that goes out of the window.
I mean, it's the same. Yeah, it's not. We're not giving them any other.
Well, listen. I hear a lot of women saying similar things. Not you guys, but they all happen to be sleeping with somebody. They all still, it's a lot of kids out here. They sleeping with each other, so they are choosing to make bad decisions. At some point, people got to say, men and women, I made some bad fucking decisions.
Men have no problem going outside of black women to,
100%.
And not only that, but some of the non-black women, black men go after.
Most black men who are married black women.
Most of them do.
That's a fact.
But the problem is, we sometimes you're an anomaly. Sometimes you're an outlier. That's what I'm saying. We're getting to a different show.
54% of black men have no kids, never been married. 30% are married. You talking about 16% of men.
Of that 54%, I understand why 80% of them are not married and have no kids.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're in your 40s, you got to keep your options open.
Exactly.
The numbers are the numbers, right? And
the numbers are against you.
If you do the math and you're one of these women who are quote unquote successful women, however you want to define success, like I feel like we're all looking for the same guy. You got to keep your options open, and it's about who treats you.
That success is for you.
Exactly.
That's not for him. He doesn't care about it.
Men don't care. Men don't care. I agree.
Right,
I agree.
I don't even know when to throw that. So why do women who get successful say, if they know that, why then would they expect that man to value their money?
Yeah, men don't care. They'll date whatever, it's someone that boosts their ego. It's about sexual whatever. It's about men are simple. But I'm saying for women, you have got to expand your horizon, because if you just put yourself in this box, it ain't going to happen for you. So you just it has to be broader than that. It's about who's going to treat you the right way.
Yeah.
That man who's probably going to treat you the right way doesn't make what you make.
Well, you don't know that.
I do know that.
Yeah,
because
like we don't know that. We don't know that.
No.
It's 17 people in Chicago.
Right. That man who makes that is dating strictly on looks 9 times out of 10. Sorry. And y'all beautiful.
Okay, what are you saying? Because these are beautiful women.
They're gorgeous. But that dude is listen, he's shallow as hell. He's 50 and he's dating somebody who's 30 or 25. Easy. That's what he values. You can't change that.
Chris, are you calling them old?
I'm telling you.
Is that where we are?
I'm a man.
Okay,
Chris,
the chauvinist button. I'm hitting the chauvinist button.
I feel like you sound like, what's the guy from Atlanta that passed?
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Oh,
I feel like you sound like that guy right now.
Well.
You don't even have a good rebuttal.
First off, we ain't gonna disrespect the dead.
Whatever.
I mean, we're not gonna disrespect the
and
dead.
we're not disrespecting no noops on this show.
Was he a noob?
All day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But
okay.
I think his delivery was bad. It was like
his delivery was bad.
Well, think about
it. Delivery was horrible.
If you told me
he was like a rotten onion.
If I came in here and some pants were too tight for me, right, and it was making I look real crazy. If you said, Chris, let me talk to you in private. There's a better look for you, et cetera, et cetera. But I might accept that. But if you said, and I didn't like his delivery, quite honestly. But if you said, hey, that makes you look stupid, no one likes anybody who would ever think about wearing that. How you say something matters.
Yeah,
right?
It does. Also, the sentiment behind the delivery matters as well. And I think that sometimes the sentiment was off.
Well,
I'm being kind.
I didn't think he lied.
I'm not questioning whether or not he thinks he's telling the truth.
Did you ever listen to a show?
A couple times. I couldn't tell
you. I think there are plenty of men who are in their 50s, successful, that don't want to date a 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old chick that they don't have anything in common with. I mean, I've dated some of those. I think for the most part, I've dated amazing men that treated me really well, right? There's definitely some a-holes that slip through the crack. Absolutely. But for the most part, I think I attract good people. And they wouldn't even be necessarily checking for a 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old if they're like, because they're like they want something serious and real.
A man with a whole bunch of money?
Yeah. I mean, sure.
No.
Okay.
Masha said that we should consider men a little younger
to broaden
the pool.
I've
dated younger.
Kenya dates younger. I will say Kenya will date younger.
But
I used to date younger. They were fun.
If you date younger, chances are he doesn't make what you make. You'll get a better guy in the sack, but he won't have your money.
Well, you know what about younger men, which I thought
he won't have your money,
which I liked. Younger men were fun because they operated with more possibilities and energy
but it wasn't their money.
Related to more. Okay, well, whatever.
But if you want money, that's not your ticket.
I mean, if maybe though. What? So you could just have an up and coming younger person who does well. That doesn't mean
this is a smart, educated group. Hey, Brian.
What is Kendall Morgan talking about? Because I need to rebut that.
Ladies, I just want to put it out there for folks.
See,
I'm a math guy.
Your cousin's fiance is younger. Yeah.
If you're a woman and you want a man over 6 feet, that's 17% of the population. So just get in. Some got to be your age, right? Some got to be. You want your race? They got to look good. They got to be in shape. Okay, so that's one thing, right? That's whittle that down. Now, out of those men, they got to make a certain amount of money, right? Now, out of those men, right, they got to have these values, right? So my point is, that guy might be wanted by this many people, right? Now, if he knows that and he has a bunch of money, look at your eyes. That's all I'm saying.
Those people have.
I'm saying you have a better chance of being happy with somebody who likes you and makes you laugh, that you like being around.
But that doesn't mean that
But
they're not
they don't
mutually
have to be
exclusive.
Would you be okay marrying somebody that made $5 million?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you're not on his level. You don't have the money he has. He needs somebody who can afford his lifestyle, and you can't. But now it's y'all money.
I can do other things.
But now it's y'all money. I don't know if you with somebody and you believe in the union of marriage, and we're one soul, one body.
Sign a prenup. It's all good.
You're the beneficiary
Just sign a prenup.
on the life
You're
insurance policy.
You're good.
Why is it different?
Because the male is the provider.
It's the natural order of things. What are you talking about?
And what are you doing as a woman? What are you doing?
A whole lot, usually.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing for him to do all this providing? And I'm okay with that.
What do you mean? What am I doing? I still have my business. You know,
How
I
does
have
that benefit
multiple
him?
practices.
How does that benefit him?
I'm running the household.
Running the household. See, those are
How?
the things. Okay.
You're not running
So
your business.
we've already had this conversation, Kris, about how women, we can't judge ourselves by how men would judge themselves, right? So yes, it's fantastic that everyone sitting here is a career person, but what women bring to the table is very different. And what we bring to the table, I mean, in the natural order of things, which we always discuss, traditional male and female roles, men are the providers traditionally, yes? And
Women don't believe that.
women don't believe what? That men are naturally...
They believe in tradition most of the time. Not all women, but most women when it suits them.
Okay,
When it's the right man that steps into that role of being the provider.
I think, well, you're talking to two women that are very much so into the whole traditional thing.
Right. I think everybody sitting here.
I don't
Brian.
understand. I can't wrap my brain around the chick that wants to
I want to make sure
that wants to run the show.
Who wants to run the show?
I have zero interest in running the show.
Yeah, I don't
I
sound
want to fall back and just
No, but you...
sit in my position.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
you
sound
want
like
to make sure that you're making the right decision in a mate so that you don't have to run the show.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Because you don't want a man that's going to lead you into hell.
Right.
No.
That's the whole thing. Like,
Absolutely.
And that's true. And see, we won't get into that because we got another show coming up. But Gina B,
yes.
every other race of woman,
Uh-huh. Where are you going with this?
they go after who likes them, and then they look
You
at
just gonna be
wait a minute,
right.
wait a minute. They choose out of the circle who likes them, and right after that is who got the cash. So if that were the case, right, I think most women would have somebody.
Where are you getting this information from, Kris?
See what happens. Here's why I know this. Brian, any black man that you know that wants to be married, does he have a problem finding somebody? Now, are there magically... Wait a minute. He don't have a problem. Now, what do you think some of the reasons are that men don't marry certain women?
I know what you're going to say, Kris.
I'm not saying anything.
They're hoes.
They mouth set up wrong, number one. That's the main number one reason. You can't tell me you're traditional when you're trying to dictate. Traditional woman tries to ready herself to please somebody. Women now are saying, well, let me go choose, or, whatever. They don't even put the value in time.
Well,
I just don't even think this is rocket science.
no, it is not.
Like, I really don't think
If
this
you
is
like
that.
who likes you, it ain't.
But at the same time, okay, so if we're going traditional, if the man is the one who sets the tone for the relationship, he is the leader of the household, he's all of that, you still, as a woman, need to make sure that you're choosing a mate who is going to lead you to the place that, or, has
Absolutely,
the wherewithal
Jana B,
to lead you properly. Otherwise...
But a traditional man who has a bunch of money is even more demanding
Whatever.
that you
That
pipe
you what?
down. He don't even want to hear your rebuttal.
Pipe down. No, I don't know about all that. I don't know if I agree with that.
That's traditional.
I don't know.
But that's
I
not
don't
where we
know
live, right?
about that.
Because those people who say traditional is, hey, men and women do the same job, but men they should get more.
Yeah.
That's stupid, right?
So
but it's
Maisha and I
not
are the
stupid to say we should get the same money, but if we should come together, you better have way more.
So, okay.
That just don't sound right to
So
me.
okay. So first
That
of all,
ain't good logic.
Maisha and I are in the same industry, right? So I'm a partner in a search firm too. So we work with candidates who are high net worth individuals, right? And we see how the distillation process goes with how you narrow down candidates and like.
What does that have to do with marriage?
Well, it's a very similar situation.
It
is corporate matchmaking versus personal matchmaking. Which are very, very. I always say that if this corporate thing doesn't work out, I'll be a matchmaker.
I joke with my friends. I feel like it's an extension of what I do for a living, right?
It is. It's the same shit. It's like yeah. I always say that if this corporate recruiting thing doesn't work out, I'll just be a matchmaker.
Would you go to a financial? I think you said this. Would you go to a financial person who was broke?
No, why would I do that?
I'm not about to let a bunch of people who having issues tell me I'm wrong. You can't be. I'm not. You gotta like who likes you.
Okay.
You ain't gotta like it.
Okay. There's a baseline, yes. Liking who likes you, yes. You are fighting a losing battle if you are going after people who do not like you. I get that piece. And I don't think anyone's debating.
And that's what a lot of people are doing.
No one's debating it, but it's nuanced.
Men don't do that.
I'm saying. It's nuanced.
Men don't do that.
That's
the brokest,
but men are
ugliest,
simple creatures.
Shortest, fattest man in the world.
Men pee on trees.
Is sleeping with a woman with one leg and with a kickstand in his mama basement.
Men created glory holes.
He ain't saying he ain't gonna sell.
I'm just saying.
When I first learned that women like
they're about to kick us
men
out.
with cars, you know what I did?
You got a car.
I got a car. I got a part-time job and got a damn car. I didn't look in the mirror and say, well, I'm not gonna settle. I'm smart. I get good grades. She should date me. I knew what she wanted.
You wanted a backseat.
Men do what women want to get the woman. But I don't understand why women are so like, well, it's got to be this, and I'm not settling. I ain't changing a damn thing.
All right. We have another show behind us, and we're not solving this issue in this conversation.
I'm setting y'all up on some dates. Period. With some good, nice people.
Be careful.
I may not set Kenya up again. I didn't like her smirk right there.
I'm just saying.
Maisha, I'm setting you up on some dates.
Don't do it.
Maisha's dating somebody.
I'm sending it on another date. She about to have options.
Okay, options are everything.
And I'm just
joking. I'm
joking. You know, I love you. Kenya is a favorite in the Critic household. I would definitely keep you in mind. What's the lower limits on what he can make? I'm even trying to play this game.
I can't hear you.
What's the lowest amount a man can make?
What do you say the lowest?
Because we got 2 minutes of the show left. I need to hear we got 2 minutes.
Do we?
I can't. I'm not.
$50,000 it is. Y'all can inbox me later. I tell you there. But look, first off, I definitely think that you all are some well-spoken, successful. Y'all passed the test for me, and I'm dumbfounded. But we're gonna work on this. Because I don't like seeing good-looking, smart, successful people single. The other side is winning. But thank you all for joining the show.
Thank you, ladies. It was lovely meeting you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to bring Maisha back after her first date, and we'll talk about it on the show.
She's like, bro. Okay.
Thanks, Kenya. I know I've been bugging you for 2 years to get on the show, and you finally did it. Everybody out there, all my single guys watching this, if you make some money, I'm hooking you up, but, with some pretty girls. But you better have some paper. All right, Jada B, Kris the Critic, we out of here. Kenya, I will follow up with you and recap. Peace and love. Thanks, Brian, for running the boards for us. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll be back next week, same time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.